Hi, I'm Jay, the author of the Let's Talk program, and I'm happy to share with you 4 steps to connect and care during difficult times. Now, with COVID-19 creating so much fear, anxiety, and despair to millions of people throughout the world, and social distancing isolating so many in our communities, there's no better time than right now to connect and care for each other through the power of conversation. Now, there's evidence to show that not talking about a worry and keeping it inside can escalate a small problem over time to something bigger, including mental illness and even suicide. So it's extremely important that we share our worries and anxieties with someone sooner than later. A simple conversation can make a difference, even save a life. The question is, how do we have an effective and caring conversation with someone in distress? How do we know what to say and what not to say? How do we even know how to approach someone who's showing telltale signs of distress? And if we can't help them, who else can help them? To answer these questions, I'm going to share with you 4 steps that I've developed as part of the Let's Talk program, which I truly believe will give you the structure and the confidence to have an effective and caring conversation during these unprecedented and difficult times. The first step is tell. Tell is about seeing the telltale signs and simply engaging in a conversation. See, most of us are so busy juggling many priorities in our lives that sometimes we fail to see the telltale signs of distress in the people we really care about. And sadly, we sometimes even fail to see our own telltale signs of worry and anxiety until it becomes more serious. One thing COVID-19 has made us all do is to slow down. So let's take this opportunity to be more mindful and be in the moment, to see, to hear, to feel, and understand the telltale signs of distress and initiate a conversation. For example, if you notice the telltale signs of sadness in someone you care about, including yourself, you can simply ask, "Hey, I noticed you were looking a little bit sad in the last couple of days, which is not your usual happy self. How can I help?" It is that simple. Here's a tip. Try and describe the telltale signs you have noticed when you start a conversation. This will let them know you have noticed and you care, and most likely they will open up to talk. The second step is acknowledge. Once they have started to tell their concern, the very first opportunity you get, try and acknowledge the person and their concern. See, most of us don't acknowledge well or even skip this part altogether. What most people tend to do automatically at this very early stage of the conversation is to start thinking about their response or how to solve their problem, or think it's trivial, or even get angry and frustrated. Here's a tip. Acknowledging does 2 things. First, it shows the person you care and are interested in them and their concern. 2, it helps to stop you from jumping in to rescue or tell about your own experience. These are not useful right now, and their problem is never the same as yours. Now, one thing to be mindful is that it has taken so much courage and openness and all those precious character strengths for someone to share their fears and their worries with you. So include a character gem in your acknowledgement. It can be the most precious gift you can give them. An acknowledgement can simply be, "Hey, can I say I really admire your courage and openness to talk to me about your worries. I understand this is really important to you. Tell me more." Just one sentence to acknowledge is all it takes, and it could be the difference between continuing a conversation or bringing it to an abrupt halt. The third step is listen. Now, at the best of times, listening can be a challenge for most of us. Listening is about allowing the person to get their fears and frustrations out so they can start to see it more clearly and find ways to overcome it. Just imagine that by listening, you're allowing the person to blow their worries into a balloon. The bigger the balloon, the better job you have done as a listener. By allowing them to fill their balloon, you have helped them to externalize their worry. Now they can see and examine their worry externally with less emotion and greater clarity. You'll be surprised that many people can figure out their own solutions to their worries. You just need to help them to bring it out by listening. And in many cases, their solutions is probably the best solution for them. By listening, you have allowed them to blow their balloon, but also allowed them to let the air out to see things from a different perspective. This is so powerful, and we all have this power within us. We just need to listen. Here's a tip. A simple rule to listening is to use your ears and mouth in proportion. This means twice the listening to talking. In many cases, good listening can reduce or even resolve a concern. If that balloon is still full, then more support is needed. This then takes us to the fourth step, keep in touch. Keep in touch is about supporting the person through their concern by simply keeping in touch with them. Now with COVID-19 and social distancing, keep in touch can simply be a phone call or an online chat. Social distancing is really about physical distancing and not about being disconnected from society. So please pick up the phone today, check in with someone you know or someone you care about who's going through a tough time. It will make a difference. If you think the problem is more than just a catch-up and their balloon is still full, keep in touch by encouraging them to get further support. Here's a tip. What is important here is to know what support services are available. If you're at home, school, university, or at work, take the time to know and understand the support services available to you. This could be a parent, a teacher, a counselor, a psychologist, or any other service that is appropriate to help them. You can also call your national helplines to ask for support. You don't have to do this alone. Well, this is a very brief outline of the 4 talk steps of the Let's Talk program. I hope you found them useful. So to summarize, first, tell when someone is in distress and initiate a conversation. Once they have started to tell their concern, then acknowledge the concern and the person with character strengths. Then listen with care and allow them to externalize their concern. And then finally, keep in touch to see how they're doing and get further support as required. Please know that you're not alone, and talking about a concern really highlights the character strength in you. Remember, you can make a difference with one simple conversation. Start that conversation today. Keep safe and keep talking. Hey, this is Jay. I hope you got great insight from this Let's Talk tutorial. If you'd like to find out more about the Let's Talk program and how to become a Let's Talk mentor, or join me in one of my webinars or listen to my podcast, please check out letstalkprogram.com.